California's Gold is produced in association with KCET Los Angeles and is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association. Hello everybody, I'm Huell. You know, for many of us, our ultimate dream is to have our own island, a place that's tranquil and tropical, an island paradise. Well, unfortunately and realistically, for most of us, that's a dream that will never come true. However, for one family in our state, they have fulfilled that dream. And they have invited us, in fact, we're spending the whole day with them on their own private island. An island that just happens to be a fine example of California's gold. Just getting there was a lot of fun. Everybody out on deck enjoying the blue skies, warm temperatures, and fresh air. And then all of a sudden we had some visitors. A school of dolphins who followed the boat for miles, playing with us and kind of acting as our unofficial welcoming committee. Before long, the island was visible across the waters. And what an island it is! Catalina Island is 21 miles long and 8 miles wide at its widest point. It's a green island with everything from high mountain peaks to breathtaking cliffs that drop straight off into turquoise waters. It's a boater's and fisherman's paradise, and the little town of Avalon is known around the world as a romantic tourist destination, with its historic casino and glistening bay. There are rocky coastlines and beautiful beaches, anything and everything you'd want in an island. Well, here we are. We have finally arrived on Catalina Island. We're here at Two Harbors, and what a beautiful place this is. Look, we got the palm trees, the blue skies, the sandy beaches. You look out here in the harbor, you got all the sailboats. This is just a beautiful, tropical California island. Problem is, we're not going to be spending the day on Catalina. Our island is right out there. And to get there, we went to the Two Harbors Pier and loaded up on an isthmus shore boat. Anticipation and excitement was in the air as we headed out. Okay, I'm standing here with Doug Oudin, who is the harbor master here at Two Harbors. And what were you telling us about what you call this place, Doug?
Well, we call Two Harbors California's undiscovered island paradise.
California's undiscovered island paradise.
Yes.
And it really is a beautiful, beautiful place nestled here on the side of Catalina Island.
Right, it's on the west end of the island, about 7 miles from the west end tip, and about 11 miles from the city of Avalon.
Well, you know, we'd like to spend the weekend here, but you know we're not here to spend the weekend in Two Harbors.
Right, yeah.
You know where we're going.
You're here to take a look at Bird Rock.
Bird Rock. Now, that's the first time we've heard its official name. There it is, right out there. It sits about how far off the shore, Doug?
It's about a half a mile from land, and it's about a quarter of a mile from the nearest point over at Blue Caverns Point, which is just to the east.
Now, you're the harbor master, so you get a lot of questions, I'm sure, from people coming in and out of the harbor. What do they ask you about Bird Rock?
Well, more than anything, they ask about the white covering on it, and we joke around with them, tell them it's snow. And
but it's not snow.
No, it's not. It is not snow. It's an unofficial bird sanctuary, and because there's a huge population of birds that roost out there, they leave their droppings along the way, and that's what's all over it.
What is the official word for bird droppings?
Guano.
Guano.
Yeah.
So the island is covered with guano. Now, what else do they ask you?
Oh, they ask if anybody ever does anything with it, if it's ever used for anything, and it's not. We do tell them that it's privately owned, which is kind of unique. Why would somebody want to own that? Well, why does somebody want to climb Mount Everest?
Well, that's what we're going to find out today, because we've got the family with us who own Bird Rock.
Oh, they're with you? Oh,
That's
terrific.
who these people are.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Terrific.
Really?
Yeah. Good.
Now, have you spent much time out here?
Fish around it, but I have had no need and reason or desire to go on the rock.
So even though you're the harbor master and you sit here and look out at this rock all day, every day, you have never felt compelled to visit Bird Rock.
I've never stepped ashore on it. I've been around it swimming. I've snorkeled and fished around it. It doesn't smell very good. So I've really had no reason to go ashore there, step foot ashore. So no, I never have, and I've been here 21 years.
Well, it has kind of an interesting look. It does capture your attention as you're coming into the harbor, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, yeah. It's a landmark for boaters. You know, boaters can see it from a good distance away because it's covered with white. Although, even though it's such a visible thing and so easy to see, we've had boats run smack into it.
Really?
Yeah. Probably the most impressive, or you know, the one that I remember most. About 5 years ago, one moonlit evening, a couple was coming over on their Grand Banks trawler. And they had it on autopilot. They were up in the flybridge enjoying the evening alone, and they had it on autopilot, and the next thing they knew, they smacked right into it, punched about a 2-foot hole in their bow, and called for help. Yeah.
Well, there it is. Now, the truth of the matter is, though, you're not taking us out there.
No, we can't take this boat to shore there. There's no access. So we're going to drop you off over at the University of Southern California Wrigley Marine Science Center, and the staff there is going to take you out in a couple of small skiffs.
So you still may never set foot on Bird Rock.
No, I may not.
You're
Although
invited.
after this, I might have to.
You're invited to come with us if you'd like.
Okay, well, I might do that. We'll see what the program is. Once we get over there, and if there's room, I might go ahead and go with you. There's always a first for everything.
Okay, we have unloaded from the shore boat. We've hooked up. Your name is?
Sid Yonker.
From?
The Wrigley Institute.
Which is the USC?
USC's Marine Lab out here on Catalina Island.
And you're going to help us today because the shore boat is too big to get us on Bird Rock.
Correct. So we're going to take 2 little Boston whalers out to Bird Rock.
Where are the Boston whalers?
They're right there. The one right here.
Just little ones like this
Just
one.
little ones. One's a 15-footer and one's a 13-footer.
Okay.
And we're just going to ferry everyone out to Bird Rock.
Now I got to ask you, have you ever been to Bird Rock?
I've been out there diving, but I've never set foot on the rock.
Another one. Come over here, Duck. She hadn't been on Bird Rock either.
Well, why would we want to go on it?
Now, wait a minute. You all are saying this in front of the family that owns Bird Rock. Let's introduce this family to everybody. Your name is?
Michael Caffey.
Mr. Caffey, and this is your wife.
And
These are your children and assorted hangers-oners who have come over to visit Bird Rock. And as we get closer to Bird Rock, we will go into the whole story of how your family came to acquire this island in California. I guess the question, though, I want to ask right now, are you all excited about this day?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Have you ever been here?
Once.
Have you ever been here?
I've been here once too.
Have you ever been here?
First time.
You've been here.
I've been here once.
You've been here.
Yeah.
Never been here.
And you're a member of the family. You've never been here.
Seen lots of pictures of it, but never been here.
Well, this is going to be an adventure. Bird Rock is waiting. Let's go.
Let's go.
Now, your first up-close look and smell of Bird Rock is pretty spectacular. It's real white. Really does look like it's covered with snow. Of course, we knew better. And from our little boat, we could look up and see all the birds who must have been wondering just who we were and why we were invading their home territory. Little did they know we'd be there all day. Okay, here we are. We are landing We have landed on Bird Rock. Well, we are now on Bird Rock.
Huell, it's really not Bird Rock technically, it's White Rock.
Well, and there's a good reason why it's called White Rock.
Yes, certainly
This is a white rock. All of the pelicans, all of the birds are gone now.
Well, they may be over the corner there, over on the other side.
Yeah, they all flew off when we
approached.
when we landed. Now you all have already come up here.
Right.
What are you looking at
We've
up
been
here?
looking at- she's been telling me what the flora is, and
Uh-huh.
this is now name it.
Malvarosa?
Malvarosa.
Right, and it used to be on Catalina Island, but the goats ate it. So it exists out here on Bird Rock, but it's no longer on the island itself.
Look at all these bird feathers.
Mm-hmm. It looks like someone had a big pillow fight and the pillows went crazy.
Now, do they nest up here? Is that what all this is about?
There are some western gulls who do nest on the island. I'm not sure exactly which other ones actually nest out here, but you know, they're definitely around and they shed their feathers. So.
And this is beautiful. This is the green that we saw. I didn't realize it was cactus. I thought for some reason it was grass.
Right, it's the prickly pear cactus. People make prickly pear jam, etc. out of it. And then we've got the Malvarosa or the island mallow.
Which is blooming here.
Correct, which is kind of odd at this time of year. Normally it would just look like this with more of just the twigs and all hanging out.
But this is the only vegetation that we have on the whole island. It's just right here.
Correct.
And
there's
why
one
in
patch.
this one little patch?
That I'm not quite sure about. It just all took root and here it stayed. There might be a little bit of soil that it can get into, whereas the rest of it's too rocky.
Well, what are we looking at up here?
Just looking
Big
at
ugly
spiders and all the feathers in there. It just looks like a bunch of cobwebs in there. I actually think I do see some soil.
Is there soil on this rock?
That I'm not sure about. I don't know a lot about Bird Rock. I know the water. I'm not quite as familiar with the topside portion.
See, I don't think anybody's really. Doug, what do you think?
Well, this is interesting. Actually, it's kind of cool. I should have done this years ago.
You know, for some reason, I thought we were going to be walking in deep bird droppings here.
Yeah. I don't think we want to be out here when it's wet.
But it's really very clean. It's
Yeah.
just that the rock has become white.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It smells a little bit, but
Well,
not
we
too
hadn't
bad.
brought that up yet, but you definitely know you're on Bird Rock. Look out here. This is really something. This looks almost like a moonscape when you look out here.
No, it's pretty. You know, it really is. It's kind of a unique kind of pretty. It's a great view of the island and Shiprock in the background and the shoreline. It looks beautiful.
Here's Catalina right over here. What a great view of the island. This is really something. Now there's some birds still over on the other side. They get skittish when you get close
They
to
sure
them.
do, don't they? Here they go.
Oh yeah, there they are. They're flying off. Now this is the whole island right here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's a little bit more out. There they go.
Now you should know exactly. Oh, look at this. Ha!
Wow.
Look at this. There have to be thousands of birds on this island. Now you know your island. How much land do you have? here?
About 1 1/3 acres.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. To the high, you know, they go to the mean water line or high water line. There's a lot of subterranean stuff, but that doesn't count.
And I guess now is as good a time as any to tell the story on how you got this island.
Well, it started back in the 1920s. A group of guys were trying to figure out, did Wrigley own this island? He owned everything else.
Yeah.
And they checked, and he didn't.
They found out Wrigley. Why didn't Wrigley buy this when he bought
He
Catalina?
didn't know. He thought he bought it,
Ah.
but he didn't. And so very secretly and surreptitiously, they went about trying to get hold of it and get deed to it and a title to it.
And they did.
And they did.
And how much did it cost them?
It cost them $138
Oh my gosh. For the whole island.
for the whole island.
And that was in 19...
That was in 1925.
Now what happened after that? How did your family get it?
Well, my family got into it. These three gentlemen now had it. They had to fight Wrigley for 4 years in court and finally won
Uh-huh.
because he came pouncing.
He wanted the whole thing.
He wanted it, oh yeah. And so one of the partners got in financial trouble. This is starting of the Depression, 1930. And so he deeded his third to the three of them, to the two of them that remained, and immediately my father came in, Frank Caffey, and he bought that third. So now he was part of it. He had 1/3, and these other two gentlemen had the other third.
And how did you get the others, the rest of it?
Well, time passed, of course, and at a certain point, one of the partners died and willed another third to my father, Frank Caffey. And then he passed away, and my wife and I had 2/3. And the final third, the lady who finally wound up with it, passed away, and we bought it through her estate.
Now, why would you want this thing? Look, I mean, we're standing on it. This is the whole thing. Why would you want this
My
island?
father made one investment in his life, literally. This was it. This was his dream. This was something he wanted to own. Something was going to happen wonderful from it. And so that's why we sort of honored that dream. We wanted to get the other third. We'd have it all. Now what do we do with it?
Well, you haven't. This is just the second time you've even visited the island.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And some of your kids have never been here.
A lot of them have never been here.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what's going to come of it. The USC lab would like to have it. They've asked us to donate it to them. That's a possibility. We could leave it to 12 of our remaining children. They can't agree on the time of day. So to what to do with it, you know?
Yeah.
So we don't know what to do. And what is it worth? Well, way back then, someone offered $50,000 for it after they got it to put a billboard on it, a bottling company.
You're kidding.
Oh yeah, they turned it down. Oh no, we're going to make some big money on this. This
The
is
original
1929.
owners were thinking.
Yeah, 19. We're
What do
making.
they think they were going to do out here?
Well, one of them.
Walk down here.
Oh yes, one of them thought that it would be a good idea if they could make it into a little yachting club, and you tie up boats all the way around, and they'd sell shares for $5,000 apiece.
Ah.
And then there was talk of this being worth as much as $500,000 if they could do that. Say, well, it didn't happen. A lot of things like that were talked about.
What's going on over here? What are we talking about over here?
Oh, we're just looking how thick it might be. It gets very, very, very hard, and it's actually probably a little thicker than you think it is.
So there's a coating of bird droppings on here.
Yeah, obviously it's been here for a long, long time and just built up over the years, and it's pretty interesting.
Have you seen anything that has captivated you so far?
Well,
Has
I
anybody
think-
seen
The
anything?
view is nice. The view is wonderful. Yeah, we're picturing a house here looking out this way.
Now you might have to check with the Coastal Commission on that first.
I don't think I'm going to do it.
I was thinking maybe a huge big condo here.
Well, you could do that, but it would be very, very difficult to get it done. You have to go through the Coastal Commission, environmental commissions.
I don't think you're going to get a. I don't think they're going to get a condo. Do you?
Probably not.
But someone had enough money and enough time.
What are these things? What are these? Does anybody have any? Doug, do you have any idea what these things are?
Look like gears. I mean, it looks like some sort of gear on the top there.
Well,
But
Doug, you're the harbor master. What?
I really don't have a clue, but I'm going to guess that possibly they were put up here to tie a line around if you were doing any work down behind us where it's steep
Two
here.
or three of them on
Well, you
here.
put a line on it, and then you can walk down here where it's steep, and especially if it's wet and slippery, if you were doing research of some kind, you could hold on to the rope and you wouldn't go on off the side.
Gotcha.
Just a guess.
Have you ever seen or heard of a structure being out here?
No, well, there was at one time somebody supposedly living here, or not living here, but using it with a blind, doing research on the birds, and I suspect maybe that platform over there.
Let's
is what
walk
that
down
is.
here. Oh, there is a
There's
platform
something there.
down here. And didn't you tell me that they filmed a movie out here?
They filmed a lot of different things out here, bits and pieces of movies. They put palm trees up out here. They may have tied them off of these to make it look like the background of a desert island,
Really?
And a lot of movies were filmed across there and over on the other side of the isthmus.
And have you ever heard of anybody building a structure out here?
The only structure I heard of was about an outhouse was moved out here and burnt. Some guys got a little crocked and brought it out here and stuck it out here and burned it. So that was...
Do people come out here for parties?
No.
Is this a party rock?
No, it's not a party place. It's actually there's very little activity out here at all.
Yeah.
The researchers from USC do a lot of stuff underwater, and I think this was the blind here. If you look at it,
this. Yeah, look, that's exactly what it is. It's an old blind. That's what they would have looked out of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have had it propped up here, and then the birds down below, they filmed through the little holes in the plywood.
So this was back in the...
I'm going to guess it about 10 years ago. I remember seeing something standing up here, and I'm going to say 8 to 10 years ago.
Now, is it illegal for people to come on this island without your permission?
Well, technically, I imagine it is, but no one knows that it's privately owned. I don't think many people do. Do they in the island know that this is privately owned?
People that live on the island are aware of it, but and some of the visitors. But a lot of people don't have a clue. They just think it's, you know, an island.
And a lot of people are just like this fella. He's been out here 21 years. He's never wanted to come on this island.
That's true. That's true.
I'm glad I did. This is an experience. Yeah.
Well, here's the rope over here. Let's look at this. This is the only other thing we have found on the island. This wonderful old rope. And
They must have used it to rappel down the side.
I don't know.
Somebody may have been climbing up in a movie of some kind. It may have been to hang things out there for background. I don't know.
Why don't you demonstrate that for us?
sure.
Just go right off the edge. No, I was just kidding.
It's pretty strong looking, actually. Although it's been weathered. It's been weathered. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it.
This is your first time
First time on the island.
on your dad's and mom's island.
That's right. It's great. I love it. I've seen pictures of it, but never actually been on it.
Growing up in the family,
Yeah.
do you hear Bird Rock stories? Is
From time to time, just you know, the fact that they own the island, and if we all wanted to go out and see it one day, and they've seen it once. I couldn't make the trip that time, but I'm glad I made it this time.
How
It's great.
strange is it for you to be on this rock?
It's really, really, really different. It's great though. I love it. It's great.
Well, this is going to be yours someday.
Yeah, that's right. At least 12 of it will be here.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I don't
got
know how we're going to divide it up, but
Well, you should go for the high ground up
I
here.
think I'll take something right by the cactus, right up on the top there. You can have the lower area. I don't know.
Okay, now Stephen, where are you taking us out here?
Well, if you come to the right over here and come down, when the tide comes in, it's a natural slide and it pulls the water in and then it goes back.
This is like a little tide pool down here. And this rock looks, it looks volcanic.
It looks like it's an old volcanic ash. Wow. But over here, right here, watch the way it comes in.
Oh, this is
And then it'll circle back around and then it'll come back out.
This is beautiful down here.
Look at that.
There are your parents standing up there overlooking their domain.
That's right, the king and queen. King and queen of Bird Rock.
Explain to those of us who will never have an island what it's like to have an island.
Well, it's certainly a unique experience. Nobody I know has an island. Nobody I talk to has an island. No one believes that I have it when I tell them.
Yeah.
I have to pull out some of the papers sometime and show it to them.
You have a deed.
Oh yeah, I have deeds on it.
Now, what about taxes?
The taxes on this island is appraised. The island is appraised at $3,000.
You're kidding.
Mm-mm.
How do they appraise an island?
Well,
like
it's never had any reason to be appraised any greater. I mean, it's always been worth about $3,000.
from the earliest days?
Since 1920, when it was first discovered, and first in 1925 when it was first recorded with these guys, and it just stayed that way.
So your tax bill is nothing.
Is nothing.
There's no expense for upkeep.
They are trying now. They're actually, I pay a little over $100 a year because the other $70 is for fire protection, for this, for sewer. Where? You know.
You're kidding. You pay.
Oh yeah, and I said, well, where is it? You know, and for recreation or some doggone thing, parks and services. What services? No one's on this. But anyway, it's still insignificant.
Worth every penny of it.
It's worth every penny.
We're getting a picture here. Let me get in this thing. Here we are, this historic moment. We have spent a day on an honest-to-goodness, tropical paradise of an island right off Catalina here in Southern California. This has been our day on Bird Rock. Everybody wave. This is indeed a wonderful white piece of California's gold. We are now getting a 360-degree view of Bird Rock. This is the whole island right here. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you'd like to see it again or share it with your family or friends, or perhaps donate a copy to your local school or library, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.